Today, we're going to look at one of those it depends questions. Those questions that don't have a perfect answer, they don't have a silver bullet, just like we've been doing this past couple of days, I think the last 2 or 3 days. And that question is, what is the perfect marketing channel for my business? Now, that's one question that I get a lot. And unfortunately, the question depends on a lot of context. Because just like the question that we addressed yesterday, and I think 2 days before, it depends on the context. We have to know a lot more. There's going to be a lot of guessing, and we're going to have to validate it with some sales efforts. So we just have some simple hypothesis about what the answer might be. We take some action in the market to try and test it out. We get some feedback, and then that's what gives us the data, the information that we need to move forward and to compile what our hierarchy is. Now, this is what works best for us. This is the marketing channel that works best for us, and this is the second best, and then this is the third best. So, for instance, uh, I used to be in the export business with my brother. That was before he left the country. He was the one who was full hands on and doing all the operations, because that was a really time intensive business. You have to be out in the bush with the field hands, because you can't leave anything up to chance, and you can't trust that people are going to be effectively supervised, not in the beginning anyway. So for those of you who are thinking into getting into mining, okay, well, mining is now off the table. I think because of some federal government initiatives, and also because of the insecurity problems in north central and northwards in the country, mining is off the table. So, but assuming that things do get back to normal and people want to pursue mining again in Nasarawa State, so for mining, rice milling, exporting charcoal, things of that nature, these are things that require you to be on hand. And also, I think the poultry business, at least in the beginning, different forms of animal husbandry, or else you're going to set up your snail farm and you leave it in the hands of your competent hand farms. Sorry, what are they called? Field hands, and then you come back in 2 or 3 weeks and then find out that all the snails are dead. Well, anyway, I've lost my train of thought. I was rambling for too long. Well, anyway, so yeah, we used to be in the charcoal business. That was really labor intensive, so my brother had to be on hand. And the question was on what is the perfect marketing channel for your business. Now, in this case, YouTube turned out to be extremely useful for us, because my brother just started taking videos. He would record stuff, the charcoal being processed, dried, bagged, packed, loaded onto the lorry, things like that, getting onto the port, step by step videos. So it wasn't meant to be an educational process for people who are out there trying to get into the charcoal business, but that's kind of the vibe that the videos ended up giving eventually. And so people who wanted to sell charcoal would get in touch, people who wanted to supply charcoal would get in touch, and people who wanted to buy charcoal outside of the country would also get in touch. And that just happened to be by accident. But that is one of those avenues where YouTube turned out to be real handy. So we put up those videos and we started getting inquiries both on the demand side and also on the supply side. So you might find that you are in some kind of business and YouTube seems to be working for you. There are some other people who swear by Instagram. Back when I was still heavy in the events and the wedding space, I know a decor person who really swore by Instagram, because she said all her, okay, well, not all, she said about 80% of her inquiries came from Instagram. Lots of Abuja ones, some of the Lagos ones she couldn't attend to because the price wasn't right. But she in particular swore about Instagram. So there is no perfect one per se. So we can't say for your business, do LinkedIn. For your business, do YouTube, or do Instagram. It's something they're going to have a simple guess about, and then you exploit using your sales efforts. So if you're in the wedding and the event space, you can look around, see what everybody else is doing, and then try and see how that works for you. So if you want to try, what's the other word? The other one, Pinterest. Yeah, if you want to try Pinterest, although I don't hear lots of Nigerians talking about marketing success using Pinterest. But if you think that you can give it a go using Pinterest, do whatever research that you need to do to find out the best way for how it ought to be done, and then you try. and you see how that works out, and then that's what's going to give you an idea of what it is that works best. But also bear in mind that even though there's a lot of reliance these days in on online assets, websites, forums, what else, Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, what else, Instagram, all these other stuff. Even though there's a heavy reliance on all these things, it's possible that there are some businesses where for you actually it might be those live and in-person face-to-face things. So you might be involved in some industry where actually the best marketing channel for you might be attending a trade fair or something like that. So be open, don't look for any magic bullets, and always have a strong sales approach behind what it is that you do, because having a strong sales framework behind all these initiatives is going to give you not just the drive, but the feedback that you get from it is going to be invaluable. Because remember that if you're trying to execute using a sales framework, you're going to have to take the initiative. You're also going to have to be questioning along the way to get all the data that you need, because if you are a disciple of personal selling just like I am, then we know that it's not about your pitch or your presentation, but it's about the questions that you ask, because the questions that you ask give you the information that you need to move things forward one step at a time. So that's it. There's no perfect marketing avenue. It depends on your personal circumstances. You're just going to need to take a guess, have a strong sales drive behind it, and see what the results are. And you're going to be able to take feedback and tweak along the way. So take a guess or ask people who are in your space, see what works for them, and then take it from there. But then remember, be open minded, take a strong sales approach, be open to feedback, and then you recalibrate along the way. So thank you very much for listening to today's episode. Thanks for your time and attention. Remember to ask me anything on 080 Again, you can send me a WhatsApp message to ask me anything at 080 The country code is +234. Again, that's the country code for Nigeria, and it's +234. Thanks for your time and attention. I'll catch you guys at the next recording.